Hello. This is Coach Nina, otherwise known as Shanette. My intention with today's video is simply to empower you, to help you through an awkward situation, and just to share some perspective. So, as you've seen by the title of today's video, today we are talking about breakups. And I think this is kind of like a topic that can be a little bit touchy, but I'm just going to go through this video sharing my experience and my points of view, and just a disclaimer, of course, there's not a one size fits all when it comes to something like this. You kind of have to feel it through and do what works for you. Um, but I think you can still find some value in this video, so stay tuned. And if you are new to this channel, I'd like to say a warm welcome to you. And if you are a returning subscriber, I'd like to say welcome back, babe. Okay, so today's video is actually a request from one of our fellow Babe community members, and this is what was said. I asked for topic ideas for new upcoming videos, and if you guys would like to be a part of that, if you'd like to leave a topic idea for my next video, you're welcome to do so here on my Instagram. Our babe said, leaving a relationship respectfully without resentment or hate, considering the relationship feels like it's failing, but there's no hate for your partner. You just realize that you're not meant to be. So what I would encourage all our single babes on this channel to do is to pray about your partner, so that before even getting into a relationship, you kind of have that confirmation in prayer that, okay, is this person for me? Okay, is this person not for me? And you can go in the relationship with that knowing and with that understanding. First point of today's video is clarity on your decision. If you feel like, okay, you guys have gotten to a point in your relationship where things just feel like they are failing, and you just feel like this person is an amazing person, but they're just not meant for you, or however you feel about the person, but you come to the bottom line that you believe that this person is not for you, I encourage you to pray, because I remember being in that place as well, and I just felt like I needed that confirmation in prayer, because to gain that clarity on an end of a relationship, prayer is by far the best like tip I could possibly give you. Like, if you don't take anything away from this video and you just take away that you need to pray about your relationship, pray about the end of your relationship, pray about every decision in your life, then you're already walking away with the biggest bonus that I could ever share with you, right? But yes, prayer about whether you should break up with this person. And then if this is like a new thing to you, I can share my experience. So basically what was going on with me is I was feeling a lot of confusion around the relationship, and I didn't really know why I was feeling that way, because when we were together, we would enjoy each other's company, but somehow something inside of me just was like, no, this is not the person for you. So what I did is I prayed for a clear sign, and this is what I'm encouraging you to do today: to pray for a clear sign. So I said, show me a white butterfly if it is so, show me a blue butterfly if it isn't, or vice versa, however I said it. And then I literally got my answer. But one thing I will say is that in the beginning, I was kind of like looking everywhere for the answer, and I really had to let God and I had to let go and let God, right? And eventually, when I did, when I kind of just like went on with my days and just like let it be, that is when I actually received a clear answer. And so I encourage you to do the same as well. And the reason why I'm encouraging you to do this is because sometimes we need to know that we don't have to take, actually, just period. We need to know that we don't have to take onto our own shoulders every single decision in our lives, especially when it comes to our life partner, because that's like such a big deal. The person you spend the rest of your life with, that you share everything with, needs to be somebody that is from Yahuwah, because then you at least, you don't have to be doing double work to kind of like figure it out in the end or in the middle of the relationship. At the beginning, you ask and you wait on Yahuwah for him to send you your partner. And then at the end, of course, if this is you, because there's no perfect person, and you feel like this is the end of the relationship, just get confirmation in prayer, and the peace that you receive from that prayer and decision making is just unmatched, unlike anything else, right? When it comes to advice on how to actually break up with someone, I would say do your best to just give that person one reason. And I mean what I say when I say give them only one reason. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if you give one reason, it's direct, it encompasses kind of everything that you've been feeling, but it's one thing. If you have more reasons, it kind of gives more room for people to debunk things that you are saying. And that just leads to a back and forth conversation. And back and forth conversations are great and necessary. But at the same time, it's like if you've gotten your confirmation in prayer that this is not for you, and this person is going back and forth and debunking what you said, and then it could potentially get blown out of proportion and just a lot of unnecessary energy. I would say just stick to one reason and be compassionate, be listen as well. Like don't just like be closed off. Of course, I mean, this is for someone that you spend time with, this is somebody that you gave something valuable to, which is your time. So just because it's a end of something doesn't mean that it has to be this ugly ending. It can be this beautiful ending. To state your one reason why you'd like to break up, and then ask them how do they feel about it as well. Like be open to having that conversation, because as adults we need to be able to have conversations. But as a person, I believe that we also have to have confidence enough to be able to clearly articulate ourselves, and that's not always the case. So in the cases where things kind of like turn ugly, just know you don't have to stick around for ugliness. You don't have to just tolerate a whole bunch of like unnecessary words and people being called out of their names and all of that stuff. You just have to focus on your response, because at the end of the day we can't control how other people respond to what we say, but we can control our own actions. So if there is unnecessary disrespect, my best advice is to walk away, because, and I mean physically walk away, like actually just leave the room, actually just leave the whole building, because sometimes silence allows somebody to think about what's actually being said. Too much of back and forth, too much of reassurance, too much of over explaining clouds a person's thought process, and it doesn't help them grasp what's actually being said. So that's why I said give your one reason, ask how they feel. In that point, keep quiet. Even if there's something that they say that doesn't agree with you, even it's like, just give them that space to speak. And if you'd like to add anything else, add whatever you have to say. But in this conversation and in all conversations in general, invite silence, because silence is an extremely vital part of a conversation. You need to be able to have a balance of silence and also speaking and a conversation. And if people like start speaking over you and stuff, like something that I say sometimes to people just as a reminder is that a conversation is where one person speaks, the other one listens, and then that person speaks and the other one listens. One speaks, one listens, one listens, one speaks. Not one speaks and the other one speaks over, you know? So yeah, that's just cool to remind people of that as well. Yeah, and then just also stay true to your word. If you're saying that you'd like to end the relationship, then make sure that you are also like, that's why I said in the beginning to pray about it. And if you're going into that and you're sure of your decision, stick to your word, because it shows that you have thought about it. And even though like the person's going to have their own reaction, you have made this decision for your life to walk away. And though it's never easy to end a relationship, well, I don't think it's ever easy, maybe for some people, but in my opinion, I don't think it's ever easy, because I mean, having a person in your life playing a certain role and then all of a sudden they're not there, I mean, somehow, somewhere you bound to feel it, right? A person's bound to feel it. Just to kind of round things off, if you and this person is maybe you're getting confirmation now that you're not meant to be, but if you are meant to be in the future, also you'd like to obviously end on a great note, because maybe at this time there's just two different parts for you, but maybe at a later stage people will bring you back together. But however it may be, even if you don't get back together, as long as you know that you had this conversation, you were real, you were honest, and you allowed them to be the same with you, and it was harmonious, and of course can still be emotional, but it was respectful. I think that's like extremely important to maintain that respect. So let me just read the question again, just to see if I completely answered it. It's leaving a relationship respectfully without resentment or hate. I think the whole part about it being respectful and without resentment or hate, I think it's also where that comes back to you and you kind of setting the tone. And like I said, we can't control how other people respond to what we say, but you making sure that from your part, you doing your best to like keep it respectful. And the resentment and hate, if you see that is coming from the other person, then do what you feel like you need to do. But when you have time and it's quiet and you're alone, take time to pray for that person, because that could also be a spiritual attack. We need to know that certain emotions like anger and things like hate come from spirits. And in scripture it says we fight not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities of darkness. So yeah, I would encourage you to pray for that person as well. All the very best with this. I just pray everything goes well. And in the end, like from my own personal experience, when I got my sign to break up and I went and had this conversation with him and I shared with him, what we have to remember is that this is not a stranger. This person does know you to a certain level. So this person that I was breaking up with obviously knew me. And the type of character that I've always had was to pray about things. I don't know if I've had it like always when I was very young, but I know like in my adult years, I've always been someone to pray about my decisions, right? So he knew, he was aware of this. And I just let him know. I was like, hey, I was feeling like a bit of confusion surrounding our relationship. And I just took our relationship in prayer. And I just prayed that if you were the person for me, if we should move forward in this relationship or not. And this is the confirmation that I've gotten in prayer. And so I'm just bringing everything that's been going on to you, because we share everything with each other. And I just like you to know where I stand right now. And I think that's the most mature way that you can bring something to someone, is just to be completely honest and raw about it. And his response, of course, he was quite emotional and he was looking for more answers. And he was trying to like figure out like more reasons as to why, how, where, when, blah, 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 right? Obviously, I'm adding dramatics and adding questions, but I'm just basically painting the picture of like he desired to know, he desired more than that one reason. And I could only give that one reason because that, what I was saying, like giving one reason so that no one can debunk anything else, and giving that one reason so that they have clarity, they can go back, they don't have to replay about 17 other conversations. It's like, that is what happened, this is what she said, this is how she felt, this is what happened. And with all that lovely things being said, let's do a reflection point. So I would say my reflection point of the week is just looking at how amazing God is in our lives, because like you can be in one place in your life today and tomorrow your life can be completely transformed. Today you can be praying about something and tomorrow you can be living in that blessing. So yeah, I know the theme has always been on this channel to be grateful, but to be honest, like that is what I'm going to say all over again. I'm just super grateful for where I am, for the roles and opportunities that I am able to embody and get to, getting to experience. I'm grateful for the different hats professionally that I'm able to wear. And I'm just grateful for all the love in my life and the connections and the communication and the conversations, But yeah, you get the vibes. I'm just grateful overall to look at my life and see how different things have changed and how things are still changing, and how okay, a reminder just came up that says I have more than enough time to do everything according to Yahuwah's will for my life. And yeah, like ultimately that's been like the main theme last week and this week, is just been praying for God's will for my life. because we have a lot of desires, but we also have to remember that it's like God's will for our lives that's always way better. That's what I've learned. It's like we have certain desires, by praying God's will over our desires, even like, yo, that's the best thing that like I've ever done for myself, because Yahuwah always ends up like surprising me with something that's even better than what I could even imagine, even better than what I could imagine, on a different level. And even things that I don't fully like know, like, okay, why did this happen? Okay, but like how, where, how, I can nowadays, like, I just smile to myself and I just think to myself, like, yo, wasn't this an answered prayer? Or even like when things don't work out, I'm like, you know what, but yeah, I learned this, and at least now I know he knows what's my heart's desires. Now I learned this. So moving forward, I can take this and I can apply this here, or blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I've just been, and I pray that I always remain in the attitude of gratitude, and that is what I'm encouraging you to continue to do with me. And thank you so much for all the support on this channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you that are here. And I really appreciate you guys for coming week in and week out and just supporting this channel. Like even your likes, even your subscriptions, your comments. Honestly, it really brings so much of joy to my heart. I really feel so grateful to be able to like have this platform and share my perspectives and have the response that I've been getting from you guys. And yeah, it's just been honestly a true blessing. And yeah, I pray that you continue to have a blessed week. Guys, I'm posting today, which is Wednesday. And actually, I recorded this video for the second time because I wasn't very happy with the first one. But I'm so glad that I did, because I got to say how grateful I am for you guys as well. And I pray this channel continues to grow and reach more minds so that you guys can all join the babe community and feel how I feel about being in this space. I just feel really empowered being here. I enjoy the topics that we speak about, and I enjoy the platform that we're able to share here, that I'm able to share here with you guys and actually speak to you in real time and answer things that's kind of on your mind or assist you in your journey. And honestly, I said honestly about 17,000 times, but honestly, all glory to Yahuwah. It is a blessing. So thank you for being a blessing. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch me today. And yeah, I'm sending you much love until our next video. Mwah.